Everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon Tarot. Today I'm bringing you guys another twin flame reading for the month of November 2017. And before we get started, I just wanted to take some time to thank everybody who is new to my channel that has either subscribed, liked, or had just something wonderful to say in the comments about the last two readings that I've done. I am very new to this journey, so it's just amazing to me how much it resonated with so many people out there, and it just makes me feel like, you know, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. I've been a reader for a long time, but like I said, the twin flame journey is very new, and it's not necessarily a new concept because I've always been aware of twin flame and soulmate and karmic relationships, but I guess I didn't have a true understanding as to what that was. And so I'm on my own journey for my own personal things, and it's just amazing to be able to share these readings with you guys and know that you guys are getting something healing from it as well. So anyways, it just makes it worth it. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody out there. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. And, you know, like before, if you guys are interested in what cards I'm using, it will be in the, it will be in the description box below. So I'm just pulling two tarot, one oracle, and then a Lenormand card here. And the way that I read, if you guys don't know already, is I do some traditional meanings, of course, with the tarot, but with my oracle and especially the Lenormand cards, I'm not going to read those traditionally. So if there's people out there that are just, you know, that's not what that card means, I'm reading picture-wise and intuitively, and just kind of the message that I'm channeling at this time. So we're going to jump right into it. This first position here with these four cards, this represents the masculine, okay? And this reading, like I described in the description box, is for twin flames that are not in any contact with one another. Now, that doesn't mean that if you are in contact or little contact that you can't apply this reading. You can, but I just really wanted this the messages to come through were very specific for those individuals that are struggling in separation from their twin flame right now. Okay, so I just wanted to put an emphasis on that. All right, so the first two cards that popped out here when I asked about the divine masculine, all right, we had the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. And so this position is about his headspace, what's currently going on in the mind of the masculine right now, what he's either thinking about, what's either stressing him out, just what's on his mind weighing heavily. So the first card that we got was the Chariot card here. And the Chariot card is all about determination and movement. It's about moving forward. But for me, the Chariot also speaks about destiny as well. It's about getting into the Chariot, realizing that there is a path that must be embarked on, and having the courage and the strength to actually get in the vehicle and take the journey. Because there's lots of cards that have to do with movement in the tarot, but some of these cards don't indicate whether or not we actually take the journey. And the Chariot for me is big time because it is a major card. So this indicates to me that the masculine is very aware of some path that is opening up, especially when it comes to the twin flame journey. He may be very aware. Things might start to be coming together for him. He's starting to see things just very clearly here. And we can take a look here in the card. There's actually a woman that's in this Chariot, and that does mean something to me as well, and I'll get to that in a minute. But we have a dark horse and we also have a light horse, and so basically it's trying to blend these two energies together, bring these two energies together so that way he can control where he's going and just figure out where he needs to be in this life. All right, so things are just becoming bigger, the bigger picture. I think in my last reading, it's like he's just starting to realize that there's more to the picture. There's more to his life than just the regular everyday crap. It's like things are starting to really feel important and heavy. But I don't mean heavy in a burdensome way. I mean heavy in a spiritual way. Like, wow, there has to be more than what I've been doing. All right. So he's starting to become aware of a destination and where he wants to go and what he needs to do in order to make that happen. There is a woman, though, in this Chariot. And the reason that I want to bring this up is because we also have the Queen of Swords here. Now, the way that I do my readings is I pick up on several different messages that may apply to different people out there. So this Queen of Swords, to me, means two things. This could either be the divine feminine's energy, meaning that he's thinking of her and she's heavily on his mind, and he's making his way back towards her. Okay. The reason I say that is because we have this card here. This is an amazing, beautiful card. This is the divine masculine actually sending the divine feminine healing energy at this time. Okay. I'm getting for some of you that he knows that he's hurt you. And because of this, he wants to make amends. He wants to say that I'm sorry. He might not be able to do it in the physical world right now, but he's doing it mentally. He's sending you positive vibes. He's sending you healing energy. He's saying, I'm sorry. Okay. And he also, this is like heavily on his mind that he is coming to you in your dreams. We have this woman who's sleeping. She's in a very, very much a dream state. So he's coming to you in your dreams. So if you're having connections with your divine masculine and you guys are coming together in your dreams, that is very, that's like that confirmation that that's very real, that you're not just imagining it. It's not just something that you want. This is truly happening for you. Okay. We also have another card of movement. This is the ship card in the Lenormand. Now the ship has to do with movement as well. All right. It's about setting off on a new journey, making his way back to either you or just back to himself. So that way he can get back to that twin flame connection that he has with you. So what I'm sensing is he might not be 100% totally cognizant of exactly what all this is. You might just be on his mind, and he might be trying to figure out kind of where you stand or where he's placing you. For some of you, this person may have done such harm or hurt to you that they feel like you wouldn't take them back in a million years. So they're not even in that headspace to be able to try to make their way back to you. And that makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of fear, just a lot of things. And also what I'm picking up on too is that he's very much in his mental space and he's thinking in terms of logic rather than his heart. So when we think with our logical mind, we discount the emotions. We discount the spiritual aspects of things. We discount the deeper meanings of things. So what I'm really seeing here for him is that he's very much in that headspace where he is determined. He's very determined, okay? He's got the chariot and also the ship, which has to do with movement, destiny, and moving towards a goal. But I am seeing here that he is taking that time to meet you in a dream state, or he's just mentally holding you in that just beautiful healing light, to apologize and say he's sorry and sending you that loving energy, okay? So that may resonate with some of you. It may not resonate with others. But that is just one message that's coming through. The other message that's coming through is that there is a Queen of Swords woman that is around the divine masculine, okay? And the Queen of Swords, she doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, okay? And again, I didn't do reversals in this reading. Not sure why I haven't been doing reversals with the twin flames. I don't know why I'm not guided to do it. But the Queen of Swords, she has positive aspects and negative aspects, like all the cards in the tarot have. So the Queen of Swords, though, she's very detached and she's not what he's looking for. She's very cool. She's very calculated. She's very much into being, logical about things. She's not very emotional and deep. And what I'm getting from the divine masculine is that he's really wanting to connect with his divine feminine again because he misses that aspect of her. This woman that either he thought he wanted to be with or he thought he wanted to be with a woman like this that maybe was more career driven or more just driven or not as emotional. It's not really what he wants. He found out it's not really what he was looking for. So he's really looking for an emotional, deeper connection with a divine counterpart. So this Queen of Swords here, I'm seeing also too, she's very aggressive. She's almost standing in his way of making his way back to you. So I feel that for some divine masculines out there, they're in a karmic relationship with this Queen of Swords. And so it's preventing, not completely, because I do see him kind of breaking out of this cycle. All right. I do sense this with these cards because we have two cards of movement. He's wanting to move away from her. All right. But he may be struggling right now. He might be struggling because the Queen of Swords, she can be very manipulative, and he might be struggling with guilt leaving this woman. All right. So there's all those messages that are coming through for the divine masculine and what's going on in his mental space. Another message that just came through here is that this Queen of Swords, if this does happen to be the divine feminine, that there's a lot of mental telepathy going on right now too. All right. There's a lot of healing, a lot of dream work, a lot of mental telepathy, and it's all attracting him back to this pathway for you guys to meet up and to be together again. So whatever work that you're doing, in your dream time or just in your thoughts, make sure that it's very positive, that you don't put any energy that's angry, that's non-forgiving, fear-based, that sort of thing, because this is a very healing time. And sometimes when people have hurt us, it's hard to stay in that space. And so he's wanting to make amends, and he's wanting you to I've got two sets of hands here. And what I'm seeing is that one is the divine masculine and the divine feminine needs to get on board. Okay, so that way they can both heal what's going on here. And I'm really feeling a lot like he's done a lot to her, the divine feminine. And so if she can be okay with this and accept this healing, it's like this circle, this infinity can continue. All right. But there is trauma that needs to be healed with some of you divine feminines out there. So just realizing that the longer it takes you to let go of that anger, to let go of the fear, and to let go of all that unforgiveness, the longer you're preventing the two of you of healing, learning, and growing and coming back together. So that is what is going on with the divine masculine in his headspace. Okay, so an additional message that came through with this card, which was after I had already interpreted all four cards together, was that the divine masculine is looking in on the divine feminine. Okay, so there's a couple of different messages coming through with this one. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie, The Beastmaster. It's from the 1980s. But there is this scene where these witches, these mystic women, are looking in this pool of water with their hands, and it's like a crystal ball, and they're able to kind of peek in on people to see what they're doing, like a spy. So what I'm actually seeing with this, because that just is in my mind, it's almost like he's checking up on her. So even if she is unaware that he would ever reach out to her or wants anything to do with her, I'm actually seeing him doing a little bit of spying. So if you happen to have a social media account, which I'm sure you do if you're on YouTube, I'm seeing that he's actually checking up on you, that he is checking your Facebook, Instagram, whatever other accounts that somebody has out there, and checking in and just seeing how you're doing, who you're with, what's going on, what you're like now. They're kind of just peeking in and spying on you and just kind of checking things out from afar. I'm also seeing too that for some divine masculines out there, they might be seeking the guidance of a psychic. They might be seeking the guidance of some sort of a reader out there to kind of try to figure out what's going on with you or what the connection is that they still feel so strongly with you. Okay. So it's almost like a Ouija board to me. You have two hands on a planchette that basically is going around this board, and you're trying to get some sort of information from the board, speaking to the dead, that sort of thing. So I just felt so compelled to pull a couple more messages from this card the more that I looked at it. And that is pretty much what's coming up. So I'm not sure if those additional messages resonated with anybody, but that is a couple other things that came up for that. So now these cards represent what is going on for the feminine in her mind space. The things that are going on in her mind, what's heavily going on, what she's either thinking about, stressing about, just all those things that can happen on the mental level. All right. So the first thing that I want to point out here is we've got the Queen of Coins. So this represents the divine feminine. All right. The Queen of Coins, she's very focused right now. Okay. So she's extremely focused, and she's also all knowing. She knows something. She's aware of something. I definitely feel that a lot of divine feminines that are watching these videos are obviously very tapped in and aware. They've become awakened. They either know who their twin flame is, or they're being directed and guided right now towards that twin flame partnership. So something has awakened within the divine feminine to where she's just this all-knowing being. She knows exactly what's going on. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together to where things are clicking and making sense for her. I'm also picking up on telepathy again. So we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine, both on the mental plane, that are communicating with one another. So if you feel that that's something that's happening, or you're thinking things suddenly that maybe things are coming to you, this is a message from your divine masculine. Don't discount these. Don't discount it as, oh, that's crazy, or, that can't be what it is. Really be open to this telepathic communication that's coming through, again, through that dream work as well, okay? But what I'm also picking up on for the divine feminine is that she's very focused on her work and her physical body. So there might be changes, very positive changes that are taking place for her. And if that's something that she hasn't been able to grasp and she's struggling with, this just means that this is what she is struggling with. She knows that this is something that she needs to do. She knows this is something that she needs to work on for herself. She needs to be more independent. She needs to feel better about her physical body. There might be some insecurities that she's holding on within her physical world. Either she doesn't feel like she's good enough to come back with the divine masculine. Maybe there were certain things that happened or transpired if she was in fact with her divine masculine in this lifetime. Maybe there were certain insecurities that were created with the way that she felt about herself, or the way that she looked, or just the way that she lived her life or her career. So maybe these are things that she needs to change for herself to feel better about herself, to be accepted by herself, so that way her divine masculine can then accept her. All right. So it's like that block that needs to be healed within her, so that way she can continue on a spiritual positive path, not only for herself, but for both her and her partner. The 10 of Wands here, this is a card of just feeling like, oh my gosh, it's just so much. So she might feel very overwhelmed at this time. She might feel very burdened and very stressed out, either physically or mentally. Now, I do feel that it's both. And the reason I say that is because the Queen of Coins to me is a very physical woman. This has to do with body. And we're talking about the mental plane right now, what's going on in her mental space. So I do feel that there is something that's burdensome, something that she feels like she just can't break through, some sort of barrier. There's just something that's sitting on top of her that's holding her back from her dreams, the things that she wants to do. Maybe she's in a certain situation where she feels like she can't be her true, authentic self. Maybe she's in a karmic relationship that won't allow her to do the things that she wants to do. Or maybe it's an abusive karmic relationship, and so she just feels like shit about herself and she doesn't feel good enough to make these positive changes. But the point is the desire is there within her. Okay, she is in this all-knowing state. She has the power. She is coming up as the queen. So she will do these things. So this is definitely something that she's thinking about. We also have this fear here. All right, we have fear, but we also have another message that comes through. So this is a card. We have the divine feminine. Here she is. She's cloaked in red, but she's hiding her eyes. She doesn't want to see something. All right, maybe if she admits something to herself, these fears, whatever this is that's holding her back, if she lifts up the veil, she has to deal with something, and she doesn't want to deal with it, okay? She just doesn't want to deal with it. Either she's not ready or she feels like she just can't. It's too scary, all right? So this is also the wolf in the background. I'm getting a couple of different messages here. One of them, that's the divine masculine. He's around her. He's cloaking her, all right? He's cloaking her with... the reason that he's coming through as a wolf is because that's how she views him. There might be some of you out there where, like I said, the masculine has done a number on your feelings. He has done a number on your self-esteem. And this has caused you to look at him in a very negative light. And so you're looking at this cloak. It's like she's cloaked in fear. She's cloaked in this darkness. And it has to do with the masculine. So what I'm seeing here is that The divine feminine really needs to clear this energy up, because this is actually preventing her from enjoying a very positive aspect of this twin flame relationship. If she can't heal this, then she can't come back together with her divine counterpart. It's not going to happen. So she needs to clear all this stuff up. And again, I'm not sure where it's connected to either not feeling good enough about herself, in areas of the way that she looks right now, or the way that she feels about her career and her place in the world. Maybe she just doesn't feel like she has enough money, or he's not going to want her if they come back together, or something like that is coming through. But something needs to be lifted. This darkness and the way that she's viewing the divine masculine has to be healed. And it's very burdensome. It's very heavy. We have 2 cards that represent something being behind someone or on top of something, kind of preventing them and just keeping them down and pinned down, so that way they can't move forward. So mentally, I see that the feminine is very stuck right now. It's preventing her from walking this beautiful path. This is the garden in the Lenormand. And that's not what this card means, but I'm reading it just the way that I'm reading it, intuitively. So this beautiful card, this beautiful staircase that leads up to this beautiful atrium where these 2 people can meet, the divine masculine and feminine. This is being prevented right now because of all the mental crap that's going on for the divine feminine. So she has a lot of work to do. To me, it seems like the divine masculine, he might not be completely aware of the connection. There are obviously some fears that he has too that might be preventing him, or other people might be preventing him from coming, towards this union again with you. But for me, the divine feminine has a lot more inner work and inner struggles going on than the divine masculine right now. She really needs to concentrate on clearing a lot of this stuff up, so that way they can come together in this beautiful space. So until she clears that up, it's just not going to happen. And if they do happen to come back together, it might be another, another situation where there's more pain than there is, that blessing, because there's still shit that needs to be cleared and stuff that needs to be worked out. So you might come back together again with your twin and it be unsuccessful again, because we have to clear this up in order for it to actually, be a beautiful, beautiful relationship like it's meant to be. So anyways, I'm hoping that makes sense, and that, like I said, not every single message was for one person. This could have been for a variety of you. Maybe just one message, one card made sense, or maybe they all made sense. I'm not sure, but those are just all the messages that were coming through Spirit. So a couple of additional messages that I got with this card too is that the wolf may not even be the divine masculine. I do feel that it is like that for some feminines out there, but I believe that this wolf is someone that is around the divine feminine, that is making her feel like she has to hide, that's making her feel like she can't be her true authentic self, that she can't speak her truth. So that's why she is hiding. She has that cloak hiding her eyes even, and she has her body, just kind of protecting her heart. She's holding on to something. She's withholding something. She's afraid of her own truth. She can't speak her truth. This person around her could feel like, just a dark presence. This is somebody who would harm her if she spoke her truth. Or this is just somebody that she feels that she needs to hide from, that it would either destroy them. The truth would destroy them, or the truth would destroy the relationship, or whatever that is. But there's just definitely this presence of somebody else that's kind of cloaking over her, where she feels like she can't do what she wants to do because she has this presence around her with this individual. Okay, so just when I said that the divine masculine seemed like he was doing good and the divine feminine had more to work on, I guess that's not necessarily true, because what we have here, this is what's going on in the heart space of the divine masculine. We've got some really heavy stuff. All right, we've got the 8 of Swords here, and as we can see, there's this woman who is trapped in this web with all these swords around her. Swords represent air, so this represents thoughts, okay? Thoughts and anxiety. Traditionally, the 8 of Swords does remind us that we can get out of it if we choose to. It's like this self-inflicted just chaos that we're creating around us. Our thoughts and our fears and our anxieties keep us locked, keep us stuck. All right, but we can get out of that at any time if we choose to look at things from a different perspective. But what I'm seeing here is we've got this 10 of Swords. This is the masculine here. All right, this is obviously what we're talking about. He's got all these swords that are just stabbing him in the back, and he is just really, really struggling. The 10 of Swords traditionally is a card where it's almost like the death card, all right? But there's a lot of pain and a lot of mental anguish that goes along with this. Sometimes it can actually mean being stabbed in the back. Sometimes it can mean betrayal. But whatever the situation is, it's over, it's dead, it's time to move on. So in his heart space, he may be dealing with a karmic relationship that is causing him this pain here. And it's something that he needs to let go of. He's not stuck. It's only in his mind is he stuck. And all this anguish and everything that he's feeling, things are ending for a reason. It's time to let it go. It's time to be done with this karmic relationship that he's in so that way he can get on this journey. The reminder here is time is a wasting. Don't waste any more time on this. We have this woman, she's holding this hourglass because time is slipping through her hands. Don't let any more time slip through your hands, divine masculines. Don't waste any more time on whatever it is that you're trapped in, because it's not what you're wanting. It's not what you're wanting. It's not going to resonate with just your highest ideals and your highest, I don't know why the message isn't coming clear, but that is just something that is kind of a no-brainer. If you're in a situation where it's stuck and it's miserable and it's shitty, it's time to let it go. I'm also seeing that this is the divine feminine right here. Oh, sorry, my phone. The divine feminine here, she's stuck. And the divine masculine is also stuck. Do you see how they're both mentally connected again? There is something about this mental connection, this mental telepathy, this mental kind of plane that they're on right now that is preventing them from both being able to come back together. So they're sharing this pain. They're sharing this anguish. He's feeling it, she's feeling it. You're both feeling it. There's a lot of that telepathy going on too, okay? You guys are both realizing too that time's running out. You don't want to waste any more time on all this other shit that's not working, or all these negative thoughts that you guys may have towards one another. It's not serving anybody any good. It's not healing. It's not going to be a positive for either one of you. Neither one of you wants to be in that heart space anymore. You guys, it's time to let go of that pain of either something that happened or a betrayal. It's time to let it go, and it's time to heal it and forgive it, okay? So I'm not only seeing that this is something that he's got going on with his own situation, I do feel that it is connected to a woman. It could be a karmic relationship. And I'm also seeing that it could be connected to the divine feminine, and that they're sharing this pain together. They're going through this together. But again, that universal message is don't waste any more time, because before you know it, time's just going to slip through your hands. And it's not that it'll be too late, because it's never too late. This is a universal, endless connection. It's not like, you missed it, you missed your window, it's done. It's not really like that. But to stay here earthbound and to just be in this absolute misery and not be able to come together with your twin flame and experience that beautiful relationship, what a shame that is what the universal message is there, okay? And this is the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing that it can become. These are clovers. This all has to do with luck. It all has to do with something that's growing, all right? But this does indicate that there is this beautiful garden. There is something that is growing. There is something that there's luck on your side. So there's luck on the masculine side. He may have people around him right now that are going to give him opportunities to be able to pull him out of this mess, okay? This could be business opportunities. This could be friends, family. Whatever this is, I do see that somebody is aiding him and in being able to help pull him out of all of these restraints that he's currently in right now. But I'm also seeing that the divine feminine has the power to help him out too. She has the power to lend him a helping hand. Just like in the beginning, how he was handing her those healing hands to help her in her time of need, she also has the power to lend him a helping hand and start taking those swords out of his back one by one. She doesn't have to allow those daggers to stay into his back or into his heart or into his flesh. She can start removing them mentally one by one. She can start cutting those cords. She can start sending him loving energy instead of daggers. okay? And this will really help him, in turn help you, in turn help the connection, and round it goes, okay? So anyways, I hope that that message made sense. So that's what was going on in the Divine Masculine's heart space. So these next set of cards here are for the Divine Feminine's heart space. These are the things that are going on in her heart area. The first card that I want to point out here is this Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands in its traditional sense is somebody who's basically looking off into the distance, and they have the world in their hands. That's your traditional Rider-Waite tarot. And they basically know something. They have some sort of knowledge of what they want to do and where they want to go when it comes to living their life. But if I'm reading this card's image here, we've got two boxes and we have two wands. Now, whenever twos come up for me, that's a good indication of a message for both the Divine Feminine and Masculine, kind of like a universal message for them together. Now, this key, there's only one key that is connecting these two wands and these two boxes. That one key opens both of those boxes. And so what that's telling me is that there is some sort of universal message, like I just said, a universal message that the universe has for both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine at this time, okay? The Page of Cups here. This Page of Cups is a messenger, and it has to do with an emotional message, something that will be emotionally healing for both the Divine Feminine and Masculine, okay? If only they'll allow it. So this is saying that in the heart space of the Divine Feminine, she may understand this first. It may come through her first, this message. And when it does, all right, it might be up to her to communicate that, either telepathically or sending that healing energy in her heart space or in that dream space, whatever way she's communicating with her Divine Masculine right now, to send him that loving message, to radiate at that high vibration that the universe is trying to deliver some kind of knowledge. There's just this power in this knowledge that is being shared with the Divine Feminine first. And so again, whatever this information is that is going to very much hit her on an emotional level, I'm seeing that she needs to share this with the Divine Masculine, okay? It could be something that she needs to communicate. It could be that message of making that phone call. It could be that message of sending a letter. It could be that message of just doing this on a different level. Instead of being on the 3D level, maybe it's in the 5D. Like I said, it could be through dreams. It could just be through mental telepathy, meditation. However you connect with your Divine Masculine if you aren't able to make any kind of physical contact, in the 3D now. But whatever this is, it's a gift. It's very healing. It's very powerful, and it's very emotional, okay? The Divine Masculine may not be ready at this particular time, and so she might be viewing him still as this page, this very young energy. It's almost like she knows that he's not emotionally ready right now. He might not be emotionally ready to process it. So it might be the message, too, that maybe she might have this indication that I really want to reach out. And it's not saying to don't do that, but realize that he may not be on that same frequency as you. He may not be ready to understand the message or quite grasp it at this time. But that's okay, because whatever this information is, it's healing for the both of them. But I feel that it has to go through the Divine Feminine first and just kind of transform in a way or morph in some way. I don't know if I'm even explaining that right. But whatever this is, it's like it can be delivered in a different way to the masculine, in a way that he can understand it better than the Divine Feminine can. Because I'm feeling in this way that the Divine Feminine is more open to this connection. She's more open to these universal energies. And that's not with every single Divine Feminine out there. There are some Divine Masculines that are way more advanced than their Divine Feminine counterparts. And there might be some men out there that identify with the feminine energy rather than the masculine energy, and that's fine too. So it's just kind of whatever resonates with you. But like I said, there is some sort of message or some sort of offering that's being presented to the Divine Feminine right now in her heart space. But it's also about emotional healing too, because the cups have to do with water. And I'm also seeing that she needs to be very open to messages that the Divine Masculine may be trying to send her. All right. So if he sends her an apology, or he sends her, again, this healing energy, or this, apologetic energy, to be very open to it. Don't bite off the hand. Don't be quick to, want to rage at this person or, just close him off because of what he did in the past. I'm definitely seeing that it would be healing for the both of you, and it really will unlock some part of both of you to get to the next step if you allow this offer to come in, if you allow this healing to take place. And like I usually say here with these energies or these connections, is this can very much happen in right now in the physical, or it can happen on another level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level. So 3D or 5D. Both things, both ways would be very beneficial to this twin flame partnership. But I'm seeing the divine feminine being more in charge of that message at this time, is what I'm seeing, okay? And this is going to give her a really good opportunity to be able to reflect on everything, okay? This has to do with when we're looking at our past and we're examining our roles and just all the roles that we played and all the different relationships and all the people that have come through in our life. What roles do we play? What things happen with each particular individual? What do we learn from all the things that have happened to us so far, okay? It's really about a time of reflecting on your past and seeing who you were, forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you may have made, even with your divine masculine, and just really allowing yourself to just look in the mirror and be okay with who you are and how far you've come, okay? But I'm just really sensing a lot of emotional healing, accepting an emotional offer, whether you feel that on the physical or mental or just in your heart space or just in your intuition in your mind. But whatever this is, it's going to really help to unlock something. It's going to put you on the next level of your journey. It's really going to be helpful for you. And then right here, we have the rat, okay? And so we've got these mischievous mice that are basically, robbing the food in the middle of the night. They're eating apples and they're just playing and just wrecking havoc. And so what I'm picking up on here is there definitely is this energy of this rat, okay? I do sense what that is the divine feminine does look at the masculine in a negative way still, all right? And so again, that's why this time for reflection, this time apart is really meant for her to really look at all the different aspects, maybe to kind of look at what role she may have played in some of these things, all right? And also to maybe look at his point of view and his perspective to see where he was at that particular time, and to try to not take things so personally, all right? It's just really all about healing and forgiveness that will really unlock something that is being held, or unlock something as far as like being trapped for both of you. I'm really feeling that the divine feminine is really in charge of that right now, if that makes sense. So these cards represent the divine masculine's message for the feminine. This is what he is either trying to communicate with her on a mental, heart space level, intuitively through dreams, telepathically, in the 5D, all these things. So if he could say anything to her right now, this is what he would like to say to her, all right? So the first card that I want to point out is this one here. This comes with many, many meanings for me. The messages that I'm getting here is he wants her to let him go. As we can see, there's the sword. He is unable to pick up that sword to cut himself free. All right. He's really loosely tied right now. So technically he could get away if he really, really wanted to. But the thoughts and the guilt and everything that he has done to her keeps him bound. It's almost like he is punishing himself in a way. All right. So that might resonate with some of you out there. What I'm also seeing is that he's also telling you that he feels stuck. He feels stuck because he's in a situation that he feels he can't get out of. All right. So he wants to communicate that that's the reason why he's either not making an appearance or he hasn't reached out to you as of yet. All right. But regardless, I'm definitely feeling a lot of regret and a lot of mental anguish. And I'm also getting that the divine feminine, like in prior cards that we just read, has the ability to take that sword and start cutting the divine masculine loose from her thoughts of hatred, her thoughts of unforgiveness, all of the pain that he caused, her. She has the ability to help him out if she really, really wants to. Okay, it's time. It's time for her to try to get to that point with herself and him that she does them both a favor, because that's exactly what it will be. It will be healing for not only him, but it will also in turn be healing for her and the connection and the future of the relationship. I mean, that's the whole point of this whole twin flame anyways. That's the whole point of this whole journey, is to come together as one and treat yourself as you would treat another. And of course, that's a hard thing to do when someone's caused you a lot of pain. But that is what the divine masculine is asking you to do, is to give him a hand, help him out. Please forgive him. He is sorry. Again, I picked up on that the divine masculine is definitely regretful and very sorry for something that he's done. That's for some of you out there. But I'm also picking up on that he feels very confined and in constraints with his current situation. Either he's in a karmic situation or he's just in some shit that he's gotten himself into. And so it's making it very difficult for him to break free to make that contact with you. All right. So if some of you are wondering what's going on, why haven't I heard from this person? I feel that they're tied up with other situations or other people that are karmic. And so it's very difficult for them. Okay. So I also wanted to include this message too, because at first I was explaining that this was the divine masculine, but in fact, this is a female figure. Not that that means that it can only be a female that we're talking about. Not true. But what I'm also picking up on with this is that this is in fact the divine feminine. So his message to her is to release yourself from this pain, release yourself from the things that are keeping you bound to whatever situation it is that you need to release yourself from. Take that sword. Look at her hands. She can grab that sword at any time and start to cut away all of the things that bind her to some sort of situation. She can take those beautiful wings and fly. She can fly and soar out of a situation. She doesn't need to be bound to whatever it is that she is in fear of letting go of. She needs to let go so that way she can fly off to her destination, fly off and do what it is that she needs to do in this world, to live her life to its fullest potential, to live her life to her, her highest good, if that's making sense. But I just definitely wanted to point out that this is also about her. He wants her to know that she has the power to remove herself from anything that's no longer working for her. She is only trapped in her mind, and she has the power to release herself and to fly and soar like she's meant to fly. Her wings may have been clipped from things that he has either said or done in the past. For that, of course, he is sorry, but he also wants her to know if that there's anything or anyone that's keeping her down, she does have the strength and the courage and the ability to be able to actually move away from that situation or person or energies around her. I'm also picking up on it has something to do with distance. They may be at a distance right now, and so that could be that indication of flying towards a destination, actually getting into an airplane and flying towards a destination. So if this person, the feminine, has been contemplating maybe a move to someplace where they would actually have to fly, that would be that confirmation to do that, to fly to that destination, wherever that may take you. So I just wanted to include a couple of additional messages that I picked up on with this card here. So the Magician here, also another message that he has for her. It's a universal message. It's a very magical message, okay? And as we can see, this Magician, he has all of the power and all the tools in front of him to basically create anything. He's like an alchemist. He has everything that he needs, all the tools in order to pick those things up and to do what he does with them to create anything that he needs in this lifetime. He's very magical. And so this is letting her know that he's starting to be reawakened. He's starting to realize certain things. He knows that he does have the power. Okay. He's starting to come into that power is what he's communicating to her. I'm coming into my power. Please be patient. Right now I feel stuck, but I am coming into my power. Now we have the Star card here, which is just a gorgeous card. I'm getting a couple of messages with that. Not only is he saying to her, when you look up into the sky and you see certain stars, know that I am also looking up at the sky and seeing those, maybe not those same exact stars, but just that we're looking up at the stars at the same time, and I'm thinking of you when I'm doing it, okay? That's one message that's coming through. But also the stars about being divinely guided. There are angels that are, or just angelic presences or spirit guides, the universal messages that are popping up for him. He's starting to see signs. He's starting to have faith in something very magical that's beyond this realm. He's starting to awaken to something. Again, it's all about this awakening process that's happening with him, that he's starting to become aware of just this, that's not all there is to life. There's something bigger. There's something more out there for me. I just know it. And I know that I have the ability and the power to create it. I know that I have the ability to step into my power and to break free from all these things that are binding me to a life that I no longer want or that no longer serves me. Okay. So he's ready to set off on a new hopeful destination. He's ready to start over. He's ready to have a relationship that is destined. He's allowing fate and destiny to spell out the signs for him. He's allowing that star to guide him in a new direction. He's trusting. He's having more faith in the universe. Okay. And then we have the Sun card here. And this is just a gorgeous card. I love it because we've got that scroll that has to do with time. All right. There's a bunch of numbers down there. So it has to do with time. The Sun is about happiness. It's about our ultimate goal in life, being happy and full of wonderful, positive energy, almost childlike. All right. But the Sun, I think, is coming up because it's letting him know that it's like the star is leading him through the darkness so he can get to the light. Okay, so he is currently almost doing some shadow work, even though he might not even be aware that he's doing this. He is battling his demons. He is kind of going through that dark night of the soul right now, which is why he's got a lot of mental anguish around him, as we saw with other cards too. So a lot of stuff not only going on in his head space, but his heart space as well. And it has a lot to do with his thoughts. It has a lot to do with either the energy that you have been sending him, if it's been negative, or just this stuff that he's holding on to just past thoughts, past trauma. There's just a lot of healing and a lot of breaking away that he needs to do. But what I'm definitely seeing here is that he has the ability to do it. The stars will guide him. The universe will guide him. His spirit guides and angels will guide him to the light. Okay, so he's still in the darkness, but he's going to be coming through to the light here. So he just wants you to know, please be patient. Please understand that it's not you, that it's about timing, okay? And it's also about the situations that he's in. And if he's not in a karmic relationship, it's about his own stuff. It's about his own mental ship that he's got to work through. He either doesn't feel like you will accept him back into your life. He either feels too guilty to where he just can't face you. Or he's just got a lot of mental things that he is struggling through. Negative thoughts about himself, negative thoughts about the world, just negativity in general, maybe some just mental situations going on that he feels that are beyond his control. So he's just asking you to be patient, give him a helping hand if you can, find it in your heart to do so, and that he is awakening and he's starting to see the bigger picture and he knows that he has the power. It's just about time. These next set of cards are the Divine Feminine's message for the Divine Masculine. So this is either what she would love to say to him if she could in the 3D, or this is something that she's communicating with him or would like to in the 5D, okay? Regardless, it's just a communication and what she would like to say to him at this time. So what we have here is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, she just wants him to know that it's definitely been trying on her. Even though she's aware of this journey, she's aware of the situation, she's aware of who her twin flame is, she wants him to know that it's a tough road. It's definitely not easy. The Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance where we're persevering. We're just trying to get through the tough times because we're barely making it. She's wanting him to know that she's exhausted, that she's tired, that she also needs a helping hand. So whatever he can lend her as far as any, mental, healing or just that loving energy that he can send to her, which we already know that he is, she's ready to receive it. She almost is saying thank you. She's on that one knee that's just praying for the strength to keep moving forward towards this relationship. So she wants him to know it's been tough. And she wants him to know that along the way, she does lose faith here and there. Sometimes it makes sense to her. Sometimes she feels like she's got it together. And then other times she's just like, ugh, I can't do this. This is not, I don't think I can do this. I want to give up. I just want to forget all about that. I want to forget all about this connection. And I want to move on to either something easier. I just want to forget all about it. Unfortunately, she can't forget about it. She can't let it go. It's always with her. It's always with her, and it's always reminding her. We have this light here, and I'm not even sure what that is, but what I see, it's like a clock, I think is what that is. Yeah, it is. It's a clock. What do you call that stopwatch thing? Pocket watch on a chain? I don't know why I can't think of what it is, but it's like opening up, and it's just got that beautiful universal energy. Again, it's something about time. She's waiting. Okay. She's waiting. She's just persevering, getting through it. And she's got all of these mental things going on here, all of these energies that are around her. She also has this child around her. So this could mean that this person actually has a child. All right. She has a child, or there's this child that's waiting to come through with this connection. All right, that's what I'm picking up on. But regardless, it's about she is waiting. She's waiting. She's aware of the connection. She's got her eyes closed. She's in meditative mode. It's almost like meet me there. If you can't meet me here in the physical, meet me there is what she's telling her divine masculine. All right. And I do see this with the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is about an aggressive energy, but it has to do with mental energy as well. So I believe that in some instances, for some of you out there, divine feminines, that you want your divine masculine to pursue you. You want him to make communication. You want him to come through in a big way. But I'm also sensing for some of you that you might want to charge towards him because you're tired of waiting. You are getting... you're losing faith while you're waiting. So you want to make something happen. All right. And the universe is telling you, go into this meditative state. Don't charge forth just yet. Don't give up before the miracle can happen. Okay. The dog here is a card of loyalty. The dog is a card where the dog is just loyal. He stays there. He knows who his owners are. He knows who he loves. He knows where home is. So really what the divine feminine is trying to communicate to the divine masculine is that she's getting worried. She's getting stressed. She is losing faith. She is getting anxious because she is aware of this connection. She knows how beautiful it can become. She is willing to wait. She knows what she has to do in order to calm herself down as she waits. But can you hurry up already? Because she's ready to take charge. She's ready to pursue you if you don't make the first move. But that's what she's really wanting. She's really wanting the divine masculine to reach out. Because if he doesn't, it's almost like it's that threat of, I'm coming after you. But the universal message really for the divine feminine in this instant is to get into a meditative state and wait, because it is a timing issue. Trust in the timing of the universe. And like I said, some of you feel like you might be running out of time. Maybe you're getting to an age where you're not going to be able to have, children, or you feel like it's going to be too late to have children. And so you're wanting to really rush into this connection with this individual because you know that there's certain things that are on the line. Again, that message is please be patient and wait. It's all in divine timing. You'll get those answers soon enough. This communication will either come through or you'll know what to do. Something about knowing something or something being communicated is going to be coming in very soon for some of you. So hang in there. Continue to be loyal to the relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't, in the meantime, connect with soulmates and have a beautiful relationship with a soulmate, or have a relationship with a karmic partner that might be difficult or just fun for as long as it lasts. That doesn't mean you have to wait in vain, where you're just holding out for this relationship and not experiencing anything in the meantime. Your twin flame, your divine masculine, definitely doesn't want that. He wants you to live your life. I do feel that he's certainly lived his or is living his, and you need to do the same. So anyways, those are the variety of messages that came through for what the divine feminine would like to say the divine masculine right now. So this set of cards is the current energies, the current connection between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This is kind of both what connects them right now. These are the things that they're both going through at the same time. Okay, so the first card that I want to point out is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, as we can see this figure here, he's standing there. This card is like waiting for your ships to come back for me, because in traditional Rider-Waite, we have ships in the background and he's waiting for them to come back in. But what he's doing is he's looking off into the distance. He's set some kind of intention out into the universe. This beautiful ship is going to be coming towards him, and he's waiting for a return of something. So both the divine feminine and masculine, it's like they've set their intentions out. They're willing to put the work into this connection. They both know what they need to do. They just have to have trust, they have to have faith, and they have to make the effort within themselves to do the work that they need to do, to heal the things that they need to do, and set that intention out into the universe so something beautiful can come back, so they can come back to one another, all right, and enjoy that Four of Wands, which is that next step in the Wands card there. So this is very positive. This tells me that they are both looking off into the distance. They're not happy with where they're currently at with either other partners right now, karmic or soulmates. They're just kind of, it's lost its luster. Doesn't mean they're miserable. It's just they know there's something better, not better. They know that there's something more significant out there than what they're experiencing right now. Okay. They know it. They both know it. They're both turning to the sky. They're both turning to the open waters. They're both turning to the open possibilities out there. It's almost like they're turning their back. Both of them are turning their back on what they're experiencing right now, not with each other, but with other people. And so they're both doing it. They're both willing to come to the edge and take that leap of faith. They're both ready. Okay. So that is beautiful that they share this connection right now. Another beautiful thing that they're sharing is the Nine of Coins. The Nine of Coins is a beautiful card because this is like goals. This is about working on oneself, being okay with being alone. Either both the divine feminine and masculine may be in relationships right now, and it's preventing them from being their true authentic self. Maybe one is afraid of being alone. Maybe they've never been on their own, and so they're really craving this independence to say, hey, you know what? I can take care of myself. I can be alone. And this is something that both of them need to experience before they come back together. All right. So that way they both have that experience of being alone and being okay with being alone and working on themselves. There's also something about working on someone's career. So they're both building this financial independence around themselves. They both have these goals that have to do with money. It doesn't mean that's the only goal, but there's something about money that's to be made in order to create this abundance that they can feel proud of, that they surround themselves with. So it's almost about just being totally self-sufficient and being independent on your own and creating a beautiful space and saying, I did this. I was able to do this on my own and feel truly proud of that. So it's like they're both working on themselves in just a really strong way. And if these things aren't happening right now, this is what the connection is telling you that you both need to work on. All right, this is the message here. And again, I'm picking up that message of physical body. There's something about maybe somebody needs to get their health in check or their body in check, whatever that is, that's going to just not only make them feel good about themselves, but it's just going to help them radiate at a higher level for their divine counterpart, you know, when they come back together. So it's really about working on oneself, and they're both doing it. So again, they're both aware of something. They want something greater than they have now, and they're willing to put in the work and actually to create that to happen. Okay. And before I go into this card, I just want to show they're both working towards this. To me, this is the Four of Wands. It's not the Four of Wands. It's just the home card in the Lenormand deck. But this just radiates Four of Wands to me, which is the very next card. from this Three of Wands. That's what they're both working towards, a common goal, a place that they can call home. They're home within one another. It's like they both want the same things. They might not see eye to eye right now with certain values. They might not be on the same frequency when it comes to their money situation. And it doesn't mean they have to be in order to come back together, but there's something about working on themselves that needs to be healed and corrected, so that way when they come back together, there's no longer those insecurities that they're playing off of each other that may create one to walk away from the other again. Definitely don't want that happening. You want to come back together and have it be successful this time. So it's about putting in the time and the effort in order to make that happen. And then here we have this woman. She's just holding these puzzle pieces, and she's slowly, all these pieces are falling together. All right. And these puzzle pieces are coming down in the form of these balloons. So the universe, angels, all these things are magically coming down to this woman here, and she's slowly putting the puzzle pieces back together. But what I want to point out is that this is the feminine more than the masculine, because we have the feminine doing this, and she's putting together this piece and making herself whole again. If you see that, she's making herself whole again. So this is something that I really feel that pertains even more to the divine feminine for some of you guys out there, because you need to get whole and okay with yourself first before you can even enter back into this twin flame relationship. So you might be in a period right now where you're just really just pining away and just very hurt, and just you want to come back together with your divine counterpart, and you might feel like you're ready, but maybe there's still some healing that you need to do. Maybe there's still some things that you need to work on with yourself, kind of putting back the pieces together, being whole on your own instead of looking for your twin flame to complete you. So some of you may be repelling that energy in your twin flame to kind of come back to you. Like the law of attraction almost at play here, where he's not in any hurry or attracted to come back to you, because there's still things that you need to work on, and you're not radiating at that frequency to where he's able to just kind of effortlessly come in, that the universe just allows him to come in. So divine feminines, it's time to just get down to the nitty gritty and start working on those physical issues, or those financial issues, or career, self-worth, all that stuff. It's like you need to become whole for yourself before you can even come back together with your twin flame. So, but the thing is that the two of you are very much in the same frequency as far as your goals and what you guys are both working on, and what you both want in the end. All right, this is the last of the reading. This is the future of the connection. So this is where things are headed for this connection, for the divine feminine and the masculine together. This is their future. This is what the universe wants. This is the whole purpose of them coming together, and the things that are necessary in order for this union to come back together for the future. So the biggest card coming up here is the Death card. This is coming up with a variety of messages. Not only did your relationship, so this has to do with people that know who their twin flame is, and they're in a no contact state right now, which is obviously what the reading mostly was geared towards, those types. But this is about, it had to end in the state that it was in. It couldn't go forward. The reason that it ended is because you guys had to do the work on yourselves, okay? There was something that needed to take place, some lessons that needed to be completed. You either needed to come back together with other karmic relationships, balance out karma, come together with soulmates and create some beautiful work before you could come back together with your twin flame, okay? So if a lot of you are struggling as to why did it end, or why did this happen, or why is the universe keeping this person from me? There is a reason. There is a bigger reason than you even understand, okay? But this is also a death of oneself. You had to be completely transformed in order to be able to transform this relationship as a whole. It's like you guys both needed to go through that death in order to have that rebirth occur, so that way the relationship could come back and be reborn again and start fresh, okay? The Eight of Wands for me is universal energy and the law of attraction, and it's about things that are quickly happening. So this is all about the universal energy and law of attraction being in complete alignment to give you what you're looking for, to give you what you want, to put you on the right path. This death needed to occur. And again, it's like you're still in the process of this death and rebirthing process. Some things still need to be, ended before you guys can both enter into this new phase with one another. So some of you may be in karmic relationships that need to end. You can't go towards your twin flame if you're still in this karmic relationship. I mean, I guess some of you can, but that's just not necessarily going to bring the positivity that needs to be brought to this connection. If there's still some old crap that's being, held on to. So this has to end. Whatever you guys need to just bring to its full conclusion, it needs to be brought to its conclusion. Old ways of thinking, old ways of being, holding on to past pain and trauma, all these things. These things need to be healed. These things need to be let go. And then that way you have a chance to be rebirthed into something new. That way you guys can come together on a brand new journey. That's what the universe wants. The universe wants to bring you guys into alignment. Because again, that Eight of Wands to me is universal energy. So it's like this energy that's coming from the heavens. So we can see all this energy that's above the clouds. All right. And we can see here, we've got these beautiful figures here that are just like enjoying life. And I know there's so much more in there. There's so much more in this card, but that's just what I'm getting at this time. You just have all these wonderful things to be experienced here. And we have, just so many different things. I don't know why I saw the number 5 in there. But something about just being connected and healed on all those different levels: emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional. Did I get all that? Just the 5 senses. It's like being healed on all those levels. And once all those levels are in alignment, it's like the universe aligns the two of you back together. Okay. And look what it does. It brings the two of you back together. We have these 2 beautiful swans that are coming together, and they are just experiencing this amazing love and this amazing connection coming back together and just creating that beautiful, beautiful heart shape there. It's like those two matching souls coming back together and mirroring each other and creating something beautiful. So that's what the universe wants for you. So if you guys are still holding on to past pain, past trauma, just negativity connected to one another, or somebody's just in something that they shouldn't be in anymore, it's just time to say goodbye. It's time to let it go. It's time to take a chance. It's time to just be reborn. So that way you can come back together with your divine counterpart and experience that and let the universe help you do that. But the universe can't help when you're still holding on to something that's not serving you. And the whole reason for this connection and what you guys are going to create is creation itself. This has to do with creating something beautiful. It's like these 2 people come together and it's just so harmonious that they reflect back on one another. They bring out these wonderful, amazing talents in one another. It's almost like what I'm getting is these 2 people are either very artistic or creative, or in a field where they're going to create something really beautiful together. And it's going to be looked at in a very positive way for one, but it's like it's going to be respected. It's going to be on display. People are going to pay attention, and people are really going to feel inspired by what the 2 of you create together. So it's like the universe is trying to bring this twin flame connection together so that you guys can do this universal work together. And as to my understanding, that's the whole thing that twin flames are coming back together for anyways, is to create something amazing within the universe for spiritual healing of this planet. So that really makes a lot of sense to me that these card combinations came up together. It's just gorgeous. So anyways, I know that there were some cards I really went into detail with and others that I didn't, but I just am trying to channel the information as it comes. And so I'm sorry if it's all over the place or some of it doesn't make sense, but what I really gathered from this reading is that, you guys are very in tune together, and there's a lot of work that you guys are both needing to do individually so that way you can come back together. But I'm definitely sensing that the divine masculine is sorry for something and is afraid to communicate and come back to you, or he's in some sort of karmic situation to where it's preventing him from being able to come back to you. And there also might be some situations that the divine feminine is in, where she needs to let go and take care of herself and stand on her own 2 feet, so that way she can start radiating at a higher frequency, so that way the two of them can come back together. So anyways, I'm probably going to do one more reading throughout November, maybe, but for sure in December. So I hope this spoke to some of you guys out there, and people got the messages that they might have needed at this time. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching and all your wonderful support and comments. And I look forward to doing your next reading later on. Thanks a lot.